London's Metropolitan Police have a reputation for being among the toughest cops in the country. And the cops in Hammersmith and Fulham are no exception. Their West London patch is a battleground for a war on crime, and they're winning.
On the floor now!
Their zero-tolerance approach
Any more playing up and you're going straight back on the floor.
has left drug dealers, robbers, and street gangs with nowhere to hide.
There's no greater buzz than putting handcuffs on someone who needs them on them and they don't like it because they're a baddie.
Calm down, mate, calm down.
Foxtrot Tail 315, male detained.
Coming up on Brit Cops Zero Tolerance. Officers come face to face with a near riot.
Hey, stop it!
The search is on for the participants of a fight.
How you doing, fella? Why am I being helpful?
And the Burglary Squad on the hunt for stolen property. As night falls in West London, the streets begin to fill with drunken revelers, and cops prepare themselves for the onslaught of 999 calls. But Sergeant Adam Leake and PC Paul Harwood are receiving an emergency call from another officer.
Go ahead, 2FH1.
A potentially dangerous man has fled from the scene of a drugs raid and is heading their way. They're in the perfect position to stop him.
Bulldog Road. West, Bulldog.
Where is it? Is it one of this lot?
They spot him and jump out of the car. Other officers have grabbed him and pinned him to the ground.
Yeah? We got it past me, did you?
With the man cuffed, the team heads back to his house where other officers are already holding two suspects.
Just go, we went back to the address. Yep.
Sergeant Leake stays at the scene and checks the man for drugs.
Right, let's get him searched. Roll him over onto that side. You got any gear on you, fella?
No drugs are found, but Sergeant Leake is still suspicious.
Well, you've given a thorough search back at his neck anyway, okay?
All three suspects will face a grilling back at the station. But as they're about to stand up, PC Steve Evans hears what sounds like a car crash.
Right. Let's stand him up then. What's that? Right, go have a look.
PC Evans stays with the man while Sergeant Leake races to see what's happened. In Fulham, it's chucking out time at the pubs and clubs. It's a tense time for police, as trouble could flare up at any minute.
Get lost.
Be a nice guy.
No, listen. You've had a good drink. Don't go touching people's helmets, yeah? Right.
Be a nice guy.
Right.
That guy's doing
Jog on, yeah?
Apart from minor incidents, the evening's been trouble-free. But in a nearby street, a full-scale riot suddenly erupts outside a nightclub. The cops are furiously trying to contain the troublemakers.
I'm fucking silver!
Hammersmith and Fulham cops are highly trained in these kinds of situations and quickly go about containing the crowd of people. Officers cordon off one end of the street to stop further trouble and call in dog units. As they bring the situation under control, they begin searching people for drugs. But not everyone is happy to come quietly.
Are you going to war? Yes! Get the fuck on! We don't need to...
With no injuries and few arrests, the situation is now under control and the crowd can go on their way.
Now it's just moving people out wave after wave, trying to do it as orderly as possible.
Back in Shepherd's Bush, Sergeant Leake is investigating a car crash.
You alright?
I am struggling tonight to get back here, I tell you.
What's going on? Have you had a drink?
No.
Are you sure?
I've had a drink earlier, not tonight, officer. I'm trying to turn around to park in my street here and I'm really struggling.
Right, can you just do me a favour? Just turn the engine off and jump out for me for the second, okay?
The woman appears to have hit another car while trying to park.
Okay, because we've obviously just heard that. I'm going to just go and check that car, okay, to make sure there's no damage to it, okay?
On closer inspection, there is some damage to the car.
There's a bit of a scuff here. We'll have to get them to leave your details.
Absolutely.
Okay?
The officers want to breathalyse the driver, but first she has some questions.
If you don't answer the phone.
I need to know whether I have to do this now.
You have to do this now, okay?
What's the law here? What do I have to do?
Okay. My colleague will go through it all with you in a second. I'm just making the machines working. Right, the machine's fine. My colleague will go through the procedure with you, okay?
Okay, madam, have you had any alcoholic drink in the last 20 minutes?
Not 20 minutes, no.
If the machine shows a red light, she will be over the legal limit.
Purse your lips around the end of the tube and just keep blowing until I say stop. Take a deep breath, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing. No, right, there wasn't enough force in your breath, so you've got to take a deep breath and then keep blowing until I ask you to stop. Keep blowing, no, the force of breath you're supplying isn't strong enough for the machine to register.
If they can't use the breathalyzer at the scene, then the driver will be taken back to the station to be tested.
Well, you're not blowing at all there.
Oh, you said whoa.
No, blow.
The officers tell the woman to blow harder into the machine.
Blow.
Well, you're not blowing at all, okay?
Any better than this? I'm sorry.
But you're not even blowing at all, because the machine tells us, and I can see that you're not blowing at all, okay?
You can tell more from talking.
All right. We've given you extra chances, okay, to do this. As I've said, you do need to provide a sample of breath, okay?
Yeah, but I don't know what else to do.
Okay.
This is all I can do. It's making me feel dizzy because I'm inhaling so much and blowing out so much.
All it is, just nicely breath, and just form a seal around the tube and just one long continuous breath. No, that's nothing at all. You're not blowing at all. If you fail to provide on the next occasion, okay, then you will be arrested for failing to provide a roadside sample of breath.
I
Okay.
don't know how else to do it.
Blow.
But you're not blowing at all.
After several attempts, Sergeant Leake decides to take her back to the station.
You're going to be arrested for failing to provide a sample of breath when required to do so, okay? We'll take you back to the police station and we'll try and get you to blow into our proper machine there, which is a bit more accurate. If you can't do that, then what we'll do is we can take a sample of blood or urine, which can be sent off for analysis.
You're being arrested for failing to provide a sample of breath. You do not have
We normally give people 2 or 3 chances. For many of those times, she wasn't even trying to blow into the machine, which leads me to suspect that she probably has been drinking more than she's letting on, and she thinks that by not blowing into it, she might get away with it.
Back at the station, the woman provided a breath sample which showed she was under the legal limit for drink driving. She was released without charge. Coming up, the police search for stolen property.
I'm talking to him! I'm talking to him!
A suspect is given his final warning.
If you kick off again, right, I'll arrest you straight away.
Yeah, just stop here.
And drug cops on patrol.
They've made a telephone call and that will indicate to us that the meat is on.
Dawn breaks over London and the Hammersmith and Fulham Burglary Squad are on their way to raid a flat on the other side of the borough.
This morning we're attending an address to execute a search warrant. We hope on that address is a man that's wanted in connection with a burglary who's forensically linked to it. There's a large amount of property that needs to be recovered. Power drills, personal property, electrical equipment.
The squad have already sent officers ahead to keep the flat under surveillance.
Now knock and give the occupants an opportunity to answer, and if there's any delay, we'll then force entry.
They're fully equipped to smash the door down and will do whatever it takes to get into the property. At the address, they're joined by more members of the borough's elite burglary squad.
Get the door in there. Okay.
Most raids are carried out in the early hours of the morning in the hope of catching the suspects asleep. With everyone in position, they make their move.
Where we got? Anyone here? Keep going. In that room, secure. You're going to come to no harm, so just relax, okay? We'll explain exactly what's going to happen shortly. Don't worry about anything, you're going to be fine, all right?
The occupant is secured, now the search can begin. The Hammersmith and Fulham Burglary Squad are among the toughest in the UK. They're an elite group of plain-clothed officers who patrol the streets in unmarked cars, keeping an eye out for trouble on the borough. In Fulham, Burglary Squad officers Mark Breeze and Matt Field are on proactive patrol. They're looking for anyone who might be committing crime. They know where to go and what to look for.
I'm looking to see if we can find anybody in the act of actually committing residential burglaries, or people going to or from residential burglaries. So we'll be doing stop and search to see whether anybody's got any stolen property on them, or any articles that they could use to break into people's houses.
Often, burglaries are committed to help feed drug addiction, so the squad are also on the lookout for drug-related activity. They've seen two people they recognise acting suspiciously, so they decide to follow them.
Got a couple of white guys down the road who have got a little bit of purpose about their walk, which would suggest to us that they're on the way to buy, probably meet a drug dealer. Yeah, just stop here.
They pull in the hope of witnessing a drug deal, but the suspects carry on walking. The cops have to plan their next move.
What I'm going to do, you stay well back from them. I'm just going to go and put a foot follow in. I'll use my phone to get in touch.
The police need to be cautious or their cover could be blown.
The dealer is very aware. Sometimes they have people out there, scouts. They circulate the area, they're working in the area, protecting their dealer in effect. They know our vehicles, they know how we operate.
PC Field is confident something is about to happen.
They've made a telephone call in the phone box just across the road there, and that would indicate to us that the meet is on and the exchange of drugs for money will take place.
Back in Hammersmith, and the Burglary Squad's early morning raid at the flat of a suspected burglar is turning up some things of interest.
So we've got a blue holdall containing a red drill, a tile cutter, an electric tile cutter and some ski boots. We're taking them with us.
Get some clothes on, son, you're coming in, yeah?
The man is arrested and will be questioned later back at Hammersmith Police Station.
See, that's a clear space? Yeah. Anything else appears there, it belongs to you, mate, all right? Thank you very much indeed.
It's proved to be an interesting morning for the Burglary Squad.
We've recovered some power drills and other equipment they believe to be stolen. Bizarrely, some ski boots, brand new. So the story of them we'll later find out, no doubt.
The man has since been charged with burglary and is currently awaiting trial. In Shepherd's Bush, response team officers Darren Christopher and Andrew Moore are following a car that's run through two amber traffic lights.
FH, card check, please.
No laws have been broken yet, but PC Moore has a hunch something is not quite right. They run a check on the car, which reveals it's registered to a woman.
Yes, it can.
As the driver is male, the cops pull the car over to investigate further.
Is this your vehicle?
Yeah.
Is it registered to you? Because it comes back to someone, a young lady's name.
Yeah, it's my girlfriend.
So it's not yours then? It's your girlfriend's?
Yeah, the vehicle is girlfriend.
Have you got a driving licence?
Yes.
Despite the man's claims, the officers are suspicious.
Have you ever been in trouble with police before?
not been arrested? Just once. What for?
The man admits he's been in trouble with the police before, but continues to be cagey.
Were you arrested in Romania or in England? You can't remember what for?
To find out exactly what previous the man has got, PC Christopher checks back with the police computer.
FH report from 339. Can I have a name check, please, on a stop, Wood Lane?
Whilst waiting for information, the man is questioned about his erratic driving.
Went through 2 amber lights. And the lights were orange. You're supposed to stop. They're orange.
PC Moore's sixth sense is spot on.
Go ahead.
Disqualified to children 20 to the 10, 2010. Your excess alcohol. DVLA confirmed.
Yeah, all received.
He gives the man the chance to come clean.
Have you ever been arrested for drink driving?
Yeah.
Well, how long ago?
8 months like that.
8 months ago. Are you disqualified from driving at the moment?
Sorry?
Are you disqualified from driving at the moment? Did you go to Hendon Magistrates, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. You're disqualified from driving, all right? So therefore I'm arresting you for driving whilst disqualified.
And penalty for...
Sorry?
And penalty for...
Our computer says you're disqualified from driving at the moment until 2010. 2010. So therefore I'm arresting you for driving whilst disqualified, all right? To caution you that you don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you do not mention my questions, something which you later rely on in court. Anything you do say may be given as evidence. Do you understand that?
The man is arrested and taken back to the nick.
Thank you.
As for the passenger, he's free to go, but not in this car. That is being seized. Driving while disqualified is an offence the police take very seriously. Fines of up to £5,000 are common, and in some cases, offenders can be sentenced to 6 months in jail. In Hammersmith, officers are faced with a very different car incident. They've just spotted a vehicle overcrowded with adults and children.
This car here has got far too many people in it. It's got at least 6 or 7 up, I think.
None of them are wearing seatbelts, so PC Snaith pulls them over immediately.
You have got to be kidding me.
On closer inspection, they discover 7 people are crammed in the car.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the back, 2 children sitting on adults' lap, and not wearing a seatbelt. And this gentleman here is not wearing his seatbelt either.
The man's details are checked and they're in order, but Officer Smith is not going to let him off lightly.
Did you not think that before you left that perhaps there were a bit too many people in the back?
I drive every day and I think that I'm a very safe driver.
Right.
I've been driving for many years.
Yeah.
And I think that the journey from Ladbroke Grove to Shepherd Bush Market is a safe journey.
That doesn't make a difference,
No, it
sir.
doesn't make a
They're still not wearing their seatbelts. If you'd have killed one of those children, they could have killed 2 children and yourself if you'd have suddenly braked.
Other officers arrive to help escort the passengers from the car. They won't be going any further on this journey.
How many children were there? 3 children. Okay, so when I told you you were going to be reported for the offences of obviously the children not wearing their seatbelts in the back and you having an overload vehicle, you told me, yes, I understand, and said thank you. Is that correct?
I understand, yes. I
okay.
understand.
He'll be summoned to court to account for his actions, whereby he can either request a court hearing or he can admit the offence and he'll either get a fine and a few points on his licence and a bit of a ticking off from the judge, no doubt.
Back in Fulham, and the Burglary Squad is still on surveillance duty. They're closing in on what they think could turn into a drug deal. An officer on foot has stopped 2 of the men, but a 3rd suspect has made off. PC Field quickly spots him.
Stopping you for the purpose of the drug search. Just hang on there. Put your arms down.
The suspect is cuffed and searched for drugs.
Where have you just come from, fella? Governor? Me and my girlfriend in Bush. Yep.
No drugs are found, but the man has a large quantity of cash in his pocket.
What's from that cash for, bro? Just been to the bar, please. Yeah? Well, that's all right. From Shepherd's Bush Green. Yep.
PC Field decides to take the man back to the station for a further search.
I'm not happy that he doesn't have drugs on him, so we're going to take him to Hammersmith Police Station where a full strip search will take place.
The other two men have also been arrested and taken back to the station. Coming up, the search is on for the owners of a cannabis factory.
You see from that, looks like they've up and left.
A driver gets a shaking down.
There's a lot of burglaries happening. Your vehicle is always teamed with some of our prominent people in there.
And the robbery squad take to the streets.
You've just given him a load of gear, haven't you? You don't walk around with that much money.
In Hammersmith, response officers Rebecca Robinson and Steve Evans have just received a 999 call.
Some PCSAs, I think, have got some male stock, possibly with a knife.
There are reports of a man with a knife. They make their way to the scene as fast as they can. At the scene, they're called straight into action.
All right, stop. Can you all just stop? Come here, I'm talking to you. Just keep your hands out your pockets, sir. Basically, you're going to be searched because a group of people matching your description have been seen to threaten someone down there, maybe with a knife. Okay. I'm not saying it's you. We're just doing our job, right?
All the men are searched to see if any of them are carrying a weapon. But as two officers try and find out what has happened, one of the men starts to kick off.
I'm talking to him! I'm talking to him! So I will talk to him! That's all. Yeah?
The man's behaviour could land him in serious trouble.
Just calm down. You're making it worse for yourself by shouting about it.
He refuses to calm down, so they decide to separate him until they establish what's happened.
Can you just wait with him, saying all three? I'm going to speak to you and find out what's happened. Yeah? Got it. Thanks.
They've kicked off a little bit, but I think we've calmed them down now. Just doing a name check to make sure they're not wanted for anything.
No weapons are found. It turns out these men aren't the suspects the police were looking for, but Officer Evans still warns the man about his aggressive behaviour.
I've investigated what's gone on so far. I don't think there's any of you to be arrested.
It's broken and it's...
Right, no, you calm it down me enough to take these off you. Right, if you kick off again, right, I'll arrest you straight away. You come in for section 5, yeah? Right, you get nipped. You want to do it in front of me?
Well, we've sent them on their way. Hopefully they won't cause any trouble. That's it, all peacefully resolved.
Over in Hammersmith, PC Nick Sanders and Andy Georgius are on foot patrol, and it's not long before they're called into action.
Line 5 from FH. Information's coming from the estate agent. The estate agent has gone to check on a property they've been renting out to a couple. They've had no correspondence with this couple for over a month. We're going to go down there now, meet the estate agent and see what we got inside the address.
This month the rent did not arrive, it should was due on the 9th. Tried to contact them, none of the numbers were working. Came today, knocked on the door, no response, gone in, and it's clearly obvious.
Okay, we'll go in, we'll have a look. Just be careful when what you're touching. Yeah.
As PC Sanders enters the house, it's clear the property has been used as a massive cannabis factory.
Looks like they've upped and left.
What started out as a routine foot patrol has now become a drugs investigation. The entire property has been turned into a drugs farm.
they've harvested their crop of cannabis, which is now on the streets of London somewhere, or probably all over the country by now. We're going to have to start picking up the pieces and find out who was renting the address, see if we can track them down.
Factories like this can produce up to £1 million worth of drugs in a year. In London alone, the number of factories being shut down by cops has tripled in the last 5 years. And it's Hammersmith and Fulham Police that are leading the charge in the war against drugs.
As you can see, they've had some home DIY electronics there, which is potentially can be fatal. These things can burst into flames because they haven't been wired up by professionals. You see there, look, you've got exposed wires hanging out and all sorts.
The specialists are called in to help get some answers. First, it's the drug squad who search for clues.
Potentially there's some good forensic opportunities here. Razor blades, glasses, toothpicks.
Then the forensic team arrives. Many of these factories are linked to Far Eastern gangs and organised crime.
Stuff like this, you know, fingerprint and all this sort of stuff, and if you find any bulbs anywhere, it's usually sort of quite good, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
There's some gloves and that around, so just a representative sample of that, so we've got no more than 5 DNA submissions maybe to send to the lab, just to try and maybe later on give us an idea of who's been inside the venue and who hasn't.
An electrician is also brought in to make the property safe.
It's obviously highly dangerous because it's all bare electrics.
Yeah. The system they've done there, they've bypassed the sort of the recordable electricity.
That's correct, yeah.
Everything is searched and dismantled, and all the evidence is taken away for further examination. It's early morning in London. Covert cops from Hammersmith and Fulham's Burglary Squad and the Met Dog Section have teamed up to make a dawn raid on a flat suspected of containing stolen property and housing an unlicensed pit bull terrier.
Police, can you open the door, please?
With intelligence suggesting that children are at the flat, the cops will avoid making a rapid entry. Unless the occupants don't answer.
Open the door, please. The police.
Sort that dog out.
Can you put the dog in a room, please?
Knowing there's a potentially dangerous dog on the premises, the cops take all necessary precautions before entering the flat.
Right, thank you. Where's the dog?
Officers manage to get into the flat without using force, and straight away a pit bull is seized and taken to a waiting van. Listed as a dangerous dog, this is no normal pet. It needs to be tagged and licensed. This dog will be checked. Officers then begin their search for stolen property, and it's not long before they start finding items of interest. The police are surprised by some of the contents of the flat. Top-of-the-range mountain bikes, a large flat-screen TV and other electronic items.
When we entered the premises, it quickly became clear that there were a number of items of property that didn't fit the lifestyle of the two individuals concerned. When we looked a bit further, we could see that it had been ordered on the internet, and further investigation showed that there were a number of identities in the flat. So clearly there is evidence of significant fraud. The value of the items are believed to be at the moment about £7,000. Also on the premises were 2 dogs. One was a pit bull, described by the dog handler as a Grade 1 dangerous dog, and that was seized against the Dangerous Dogs Act and taken away. The owner may or may not be subject to prosecution, but that will be a matter for the dog section. The 2 people have been arrested. They will now be subject to an investigation, which will be the chasing up where the properties come from.
Back at the station, the bikes will join the mountain of suspected stolen goods which are seized by cops every week. And if this dog isn't tagged or licensed, it's likely to be put down. In Fulham, the proactive Burglary Squad is patrolling the streets looking to track down crooks. The aim is simple: stop, search and disrupt them. They've just spotted someone known to them driving a car, so they pull him over.
This male that we've got stopped, this vehicle's been stopped recently with some of our prominent criminals inside it. He's well known for burglary. We want to find out what he's up to. When's the last time you were in trouble lately?
I don't get in trouble.
That's what I mean. I haven't heard from you for a long time.
Yeah, no, it's after I'm more into the kids now. I don't live around here no more.
Yeah. What's happening, mate, is there's a lot of burglaries happening. Yeah. Your vehicle's always teamed with like some of our prominent people in there.
I'm just giving them a lift.
If you're going to be like giving lifts to some of our lads who we're very interested in, you're going to get stopped loads of times.
It's not so much that, it's me more than anything, because well, I ain't stupid the way they put up for me.
It isn't, it's the vehicle. Some people don't even know.
I've only bought that vehicle 2 months ago.
That's red hot on our circles at the moment, because there's a lot of people being involved inside it, and you get giving lifts to people.
So I better sell it.
I wouldn't say sell it, mate, that's a bit drastic.
Well, I can't keep getting pulled all the time.
The search of his car doesn't turn up any stolen goods.
That's what I can't say.
But they do, however, find a small amount of cannabis.
That's what
It's getting a bit regular with all these stops now.
It's only because of the people that you're associating with at the moment.
Yeah, but come on, they're my mates are. You know, like...
we stop everyone. If we see like a group of people who are known to us, obviously you've got a bit of history before, and with these lads who I think are a bit active at the moment.
Yeah. So I don't mix with all that no more.
Yeah.
After a warning for the cannabis, it is seized and the man is let go with a clear message ringing in his ears.
He's going to associate with those type of people, he will get stopped.
As night falls over London, Officers Santo Sorci and Joe Walsh are working undercover in a bid to keep a close eye on what's happening on the streets. They've just witnessed what they think may be a drug deal, and one of the suspects is seen running into a tube station.
Fella! Hey, please, stay there. Been calling you.
Let's have a chat.
We'll just speak to you outside for a second.
I need to jump through the barrier.
No, we're not asking you about that. I had to jump through the barrier.
The man now has some questions to answer.
Yeah, what were you doing with that fella just round the corner there?
Oh no, he was a guy.
Just a guy? You passed this stuff with him. Were you handshake or were you giving him something?
I got nothing to pass to him.
The two of you, hands out, both of you, the two of you, as soon as our cars come, the two of you split up, he's looking behind you and you're walking off through there. I've asked you to wait and you carried on through. Now, you may not
I didn't hear you ask me for wait.
That's fine.
I'm seriously in a rush to get jobs in the last time. I'm in a bit of mess.
What we'll do then, we'll try and do this as quickly as possible. You can be searched for drugs under Section 23 of misuse of drugs.
I'll let you know what it is.
Okay? I thought you might have been passing some drugs to him. That's what it looked like.
No.
Have you got anything on you that you shouldn't have, apart from a load of cash?
I've got a piece of cannabis resin, that's it.
The man is searched, but still claims his innocence about buying or selling drugs.
Where's your cannabis then?
In that little, where everyone keeps it.
Did you give that to you, that chap?
Well, to tell you the truth, yeah, I'd asked him for a couple of spliffs in it, but I never bought nothing.
And there are still unanswered questions about the bundle of cash.
I had to wait about 2 months for that money off them, man. They finally sent it in a check. Off them, because I've been signing them for months.
You say them?
I wasn't.
You said them?
The job centre.
They gave you 550 quid, did they?
No, it was for like so many weeks of signing. They weren't giving me the money because they didn't have the information. It's so hard. I've been trying to sign since August.
Have you got the paperwork for this then?
No, but
when did you pick it up?
I suppose I could sort that all out.
PC Walsh remains suspicious about the man's story.
You've just given him a load of gear, haven't you? Sorry, that's what's happened. You don't walk around with that much money.
I told you, I've got to pay someone, yeah, £490 because they've been looking after me all the time. So I'll just join everything I have.
With no evidence, the officers let him go.
You're going to get away with this.
Away with what?
Huh? You know. To a police officer, how does it look? Two men meet in the street, exchange takes place, you admit to buying cannabis, you've got 550, 700 quid on your pocket.
I'm seeing it from my angle.
You're unemployed.
Now I look at it from your angle.
See, that's how it looks to me, okay.
The cannabis is seized and he's let off with a caution.
Page over. A small bit of cannabis is suitable for a performer, so unfortunately he's taking his money and going for the day.
920, go.
Coming up, the cops come down hard on street crime.
That's him. How you doing, fella?
Why am I being helpful?
And a drunken man is intent on causing havoc.
Listen, your behaviour is disorderly. You are drunk.
It looks like another busy night for the Hammersmith and Fulham police. The response team has received a 999 call. 3 men have allegedly been attacked and a suspect has just been spotted in a nearby street. Sergeants Adam Leake and Paul Harwood are in pursuit. The cops think they've seen their man, so make their move.
That's him. How you doing, fella? What's going on? Been involved in this fight around the corner?
What fight? Why am I being helpful?
Because you started backing away then as we started speaking to you.
I was standing still.
Put your hand behind your back.
The cops quickly spot blood on his hands and top. He's put in handcuffs.
You try and stand up for yourself and you get arrested. And the blackberry
Be quiet. Be quiet, fella.
An update comes over the radio about one of the alleged victims.
He's conscious, breathing, he's talking to us now. He's got some head injury.
Yeah, that's received, mate. We've got the male in the grey hoodie detained. He's covered in blood.
The man could land himself in more trouble if he continues to mouth off.
When there's 4 of them on one of me, 4 people on one person, is that fair?
Well, we'll find out, fella.
Everyone's back down like a little faggot.
We'll find out, fella, but the description that's been given to us as the main suspect is you.
Sergeant Leake is confident he's got the right man.
As we were on the way down to the fight, further updates come out saying that the male in the grey hoodie top is the main suspect for the assault. So we've detained him. He's been arrested by my colleague for ABH. There's other officers at the scene of the fight, so they'll find out what the full details are, and he'll be taken back to Hammersmith Police Station.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got my cuff.
Over in Hammersmith, officers Brendan McGrath and Martin Warnes are racing to help a drunken man who's unconscious. They don't know what state he's in, so they have to get there fast.
Hello, can you hear me? Open your eyes.
Every year in Hammersmith and Fulham, thousands of people are treated for alcohol abuse. The number of people admitted to hospital due to drinking-related incidents has more than doubled in the last 10 years. The borough's response team is tackling the problem head-on.
Let's sit you up against the door behind you.
Fuck off.
Come on. Sit you up. Sit you up there.
Fuck off.
No.
No.
We're helping you. We need to help you. There's no need to be swearing at me.
The man is so drunk he's struggling to even stand up, and his aggressive behaviour could land him in trouble.
We're really hoping that he changes his attitude, because if he carries on like this, he's going to get himself arrested.
One of the glass windows.
Yeah, all right. My problem.
Your problem is your problem, yes, you're drunk.
Fuck off.
Listen, your behaviour is disorderly. You are drunk, which is an offence in the place.
Despite being warned, the man continues to be abusive.
Stay here.
Fuck off.
No.
PC Warnes' patience finally runs out.
You do not have to say anything that may harm your defence. If you do not mention when questioned, something which you later rely on in court, anything you do say may be given in evidence. Come and stand over by the car.
While searching the man's pockets, they make an unexpected find.
Charge sheet? Burglary. He's got a charge sheet for other offences in the borough and a stop search slip. So it's been a bad day for him, really. Best foot forward.
The man will spend the rest of the night in the cells to sleep it off.
Mind your foot.
Over in Shepherd's Bush, officers Leake and Harwood are called out again. This time, a suspect has been spotted breaking his bail conditions.
What are you on bail for at the moment?
They arrested me 2 weeks ago because I had a white substance in package,
yep,
which is medication, and it's going for forensics.
Okay, have you got anything on you at the moment? No. Okay, I'm just going to give you a quick search then. But, okay, just don't reach into your pocket for me, just tell me what you've got.
In this box,
yep,
there's a Rizla paper.
Yep.
With 5 small tablets in it,
yep,
which is folic acid. It's not even a drug.
All right, well, I'll have a look and then obviously... All right, no worries. You keep that right up for me and I'll just have a quick look.
After a closer look at the pills, Sergeant Leake believes they could be for medication.
Looks all right. I'll just get a second opinion with my colleague, but it looks okay. This is the folic acid. They've got like proper pharmaceutical stamps on them, so I reckon they probably are. Yeah, you happy? Yeah. Okay, for you, that's fine, yeah, like I say. Alright.
A full search of the man reveals no other drugs, but he is in trouble for breaking his bail conditions.
You've got a bail condition not to be within 50 metres of Shepherd's Bush Green.
I understand that.
That's Shepherd's Bush Green.
Isn't it the street, the green? That's the way I understand.
Nah, the green is the clue's in the name, really.
How am I supposed to do what my bank is right here, my chemist is here. I mean, you know what I mean? I've got to be here, but I don't go on.
Your bank's not open at this time of night.
I know that. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is I don't go on Shepherd's Bush Green.
Doesn't matter. Your bail condition is not to be within 50 metres of Shepherd's Bush Green.
I understood it as the street, the green.
The fact of the matter is that that's the green, you're within 50 metres of it. The court have given you bail condition not to go within 50 metres of Shepherd's Bush Green. Therefore, it's in your interests for you to accept your own responsibility to find out exactly where that is. The bail conditions have been set by the court, unfortunately, so we have a duty that because you're breaching that bail, that we have to deal with the matter.
The man is cuffed, nicked and taken back to the station. The court have put conditions on his bail and the police take any breach of bail very seriously indeed.
He'll be taken back to the police station and he'll be put before the court tomorrow and they can decide what they want to do with him about breaching their bail condition.
Coming up on Brit Cops Zero Tolerance the series, we're on patrol with the Met Police, some of the most elite crime-fighting squads in the country. We're with the robbery unit as they take on thieves and gangs.
Do you know who wears those colours?
We follow the response teams as they put their lives on the line.
Now we do it here or we do it down the middle.
And take on violent criminals. And we're out with West London's drug squad as they take down the dealers. Our cameras capture all the action as these cops capture the criminals.